and your right hand on your left wrist, and you push down and across, making sure the clay stays wet to make a low cone. That's your first step.
So this is new. This is a new technique. I was showing them a different one.
One. Then you go with both hands on each side and make a slightly higher cone. The next step is more difficult. You put your left hand on the outside so it can't run away. You keep that hand still. With the right hand, you make a little hook shape and you push down from the top. And the clay has nowhere to go but up. Now all of the clay is very close to the centre of the wheel. Right? And then you use your left hand and you make like a cowboy gun shape. And you aim at the edge of the wheel and push it down like that. Okay? And to do that 3 or 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. And then you finish off by putting one hand on the top and one on the side. You have your clay nice and set. Okay? It was taught to me by a gentleman named Dennis O'Hoy, who was a 4th generation Australian Chinese. But he could centre. And I dubbed that the honourable fourfold path to perfect centering. Okay. So once we've got this disc, about the size that we want the finished damage to be, I make a hollow in the centre. I don't make a hole, I make a hollow. So I'm compressing the clay, I'm not stretching. And then I slide my finger across towards these fingers which are staying still to create the base of the pot. And I go back across that base to recompress it. And there is a basic cylinder shape already. That's your proto-cylinder. What you then got to try and do is get this thickness that's here up into the wall. If you push this towards the centre and make a cone shape like that, it's easier to keep in centre. You would then make a hollow on the outside, slide your finger across the wheel, make a hollow, supporting from the inside with this finger so that it's a bit thinner there and it pushes the thickness up. And then you move your fingers together like this, with the inside finger slightly higher than the outside finger, so the clay is actually flowing between your fingers like that. Alright. To make it thinner and taller, you just repeat that process, making sure the clay stays wet. You use a sponge to carry water to it, and you use the sponge to take the excess water out of the bottom. Make another hollow underneath to get that last bit of thickness out of here, and then slide your fingers up exactly the way that I just showed you. And that's about the size that a cylinder of this much clay should be. Make a cone, make a hollow, and lift the wall. Right. Now all those mugs that you saw were made this way. Make sure that the surface is lubricated evenly, so there's not dry bits and wet bits. If some parts are wet and some bits are not wet, then the bits that aren't wet will stick to your fingers, and the pot will go slip where it's wet and stick where it's not wet. Slip, stick, slip, stick. Like that. The bottom of the pot will be smoothed over with the edge of the sill. The top. Yes, that's also. Bottom chamfer. And throwing rings reattached that are a coffee mug.
These are going to shrink by 10%, remember what you're making.
Yes. This tool is the tool that I normally use. These are rare as hen's teeth. Now, I made a stack of cylinders yesterday, so there's 2 cylinders per person, just like this. Out there on the freezers, I'll put some plastic on them because they're just perfect now for trimming. And I just centered this piece of clay just as you'd center the normal piece of clay. It's now a cone which can be used as a trimming jig. Put it on there, find the centre. It doesn't matter if the rim's a little bit wobbly because you can push it into the clay. Get that on centre. And trim it. Now, these ones that I made yesterday were thrown off the hump, so the bottom is a little bit wobbly. The ones that come off the wheel head are flat. You don't need to flatten off the base first. You need to trim off the rough bits off the edge. That's from the inside of the base. And then if, for example, you want to do some decoration like chattering or rope marking, trim off the throwing lines and make a smooth surface. I like to then put a line to define where one surface starts and the other surface finishes. Shall I chatter this or shall I rope mark?
Chatter it.
Chatter it. You can start from the top, we can start from the bottom. I'll start from the bottom this way. And you put this edge against the pot so it's level, flat like that. And you move it in one even movement from the bottom to the top. Listen and make sure it starts making the right sound. It's got to make a sound. Okay, not just because then it's going to be messy. It's going to make a nice rhythm. Okay, that made a nice rhythm, so that should be quite pretty. Okay, so pass that around.